Hello there, everybody. My name is Kate, and welcome to my platform. Welcome to my morning. I just got up. It's quite early in the morning, and I have been pushing out, some ideas to shake up and rattle and possibly break apart a paradigm of understanding, any paradigm that's going to lock us into rigidly understanding something and giving absolutely zero room or tolerance for variety, variance, or straying from that. That's very restrictive. And, there's a lot of thought process about how we are ascending spiritually and what that looks like, what the ultimate goal is, and 5D consciousness, which, moving out of 3D matrix understanding. I get it. I understand that. What I'm cautioning about, because I feel the waves of anger, resentment, unwillingness, stubbornness, obstinance, no, I don't wanna, railing against the system. And what just puzzles me is that we're railing against the very system that is railing against us. We're screaming and trying to find our individuality by continuing to subdivide and subdivide. I don't find my individuality by slicing yours apart and taking away your uniqueness or your quirkiness or your whatever it is that makes you you. That does not in turn make me more of an individual to cut away what you are. Doesn't make me shine anymore. It doesn't make me shine any less. Yes, it does. There's the truth, is that when I have to denude and devalue another person, it dulls my shine immediately. Don't touch that. The dull might rub off, and ew, because really and truly, I sparkle, dazzle, and shine on my own, and I control that, whether I allow myself to sparkle and glitter and dazzle and all that other stuff, or I can get brought down by the belief that if I smush you and make you be quiet and make you not look so scary, my glitter doesn't look the same as yours. Yours doesn't look the same as mine. And unless you're blowing up in my face and causing me to die on any level, financially, emotionally, etc. I'm not talking about an ego bruise. I'm talking about, unless you're an actual threat to my energy or my life somehow on any level, then your dazzle and shine can look as funky, quirky, and weird as you want it to look. And it's not really, not at all my job or my right to stand in the middle of that and try to dull your shine or take away anything that you are. And likewise, it's my responsibility not only to be, careful about, don't be putting that stuff out there, to also not receive that, because that makes it very balanced, that I'm clear that I'm me and you're you. And my respect of you is that I don't come at you with weirdness about whatever weirdness I might be feeling about your weirdness, what I consider your weirdness, or your whatever it is that I'm judging. People don't like tattoos and piercings. They got something to say for a minute whenever they look at me, and I've said it before, and I find it quite amusing that one of the first things I heard when I got online with my videos was, "You've got a booger in your nose." Really? So the takeaway of anything of value is that you want to make sure that my fashion faux pas is called out to all, 8 visitors to my channel, because nobody wants to hear the truth. I mean, not many of us want to hear that and embrace it. Some of us are a little bit too scared to take that on because we don't want to be called weird, because we have junk like that show up. That, I'm working through my self-esteem issue. No, I'm not. I'm done with that part of my journey of, that's about you. That, come on, call stuff out that's real. And whatever it is that would make a person want to focus on a booger, even if I had a booger in my nose, is, turn the camera around and listen, and then, take away what the important stuff is. That is like having your protein, your carbohydrates, your vegetables, everything on the plate, and dessert, and you just dive right to dessert because that just tastes better. Well, that's fantastic, except that you're then not incredibly healthy and probably overweight? I mean, what are the priorities? And for me, because I can feel all the waves of the struggle and the angst, it can trigger me. It does. It triggers me into a place of going, because it's frustrating that I'm over here, doing what I consider to be godly work. And, that's determined by me, what I consider to be godly work. And if I call it godly work or whatever I call it, and I don't have to do that in a particular way or in a particular fashion or answer to anybody about what that looks like or, when I do it, etc. That's mine to choose. That's what the individuality snowflake idea is. Be all snowflake and be willing to say that, yeah, I am a snowflake and I don't answer to anybody but the weather about how that's created. Thanks. I don't answer to the snowplow. I don't answer to the shovel. I don't answer to the ding dong that, is squishing me into a snowball and saying that I'm that, and I'm going to be used as a weapon of mass destruction and boink somebody upside their very closed third eye, hello. Yeah, be more like the battery and on the shoulder, is it ever ready or whatever that, yeah, can't knock that off. Don't even try it, because truthfully, individuality means that I can stand as my own. If I'm truly expressing myself as my snowflake, my individual, and I want to be completely empowered, I stand in that, knowing what my weaknesses are, knowing what my strengths are, taking the feedback from mentors and guides who are kind and willing to share information. And if I want to take the brutal information from the general public about, my standard of excellence as seen through, a stroll through Target or something, then yeah, I can. But I look to people that are mentors and guides to give me feedback. And then anything I'm unclear about, I can go right inside. And if I'm still having self-esteem issues, I better not walk outside my house unless I'm willing to suit up and become a real tool to put it out there, make myself feel better. And then, that's how I'm going to falsely go through my life pretending that I feel really great about myself. I got there on the back of somebody else. That's not feeling very good to me. And I don't know how it is feeling good to other people. The fact that it might or even consider that that's a cheap substitute, that's disturbing because, that's the problem. And that's the paradigm, is that walking somewhere on anybody's back is just wrong and there's no reason to do it. There's plenty of road, and the good red road is yours, and it's only yours and no one else's, and mine is mine. And, kindly step off my experience and I'll kindly step off yours, and not so kindly whenever we end up in these conflicts of violence at this point. And in my own personal history, part of what has been so kind of triggering lately is that we just finished with Mercury retrograde, yet another one, and Saturn return is a very busy time for many of us if we're going to review and, or we're doing our solar returns and things like that. If we're doing any kind of personal inventory like that, my own personal history, I was told that I was possessed by the devil and that I was evil and that I deserved every bad thing that happened to me because the truth that was coming out of my mouth was more difficult to hear and understand than it was to turn that around, push it back my direction and call me the devil. I don't personally subscribe to an entity known as devil. There are absolutely reptilian frequencies or dark frequencies, evil frequency, period. It's just a low vibe, lowly evolved vibrational field. And we are all residing somewhere in that on some level. It's just that, it's time now that we move that junk up out of staying primarily down here and move that into 5D through the understanding of me and my spirituality or my insides, whatever I call it. A lot of people don't really want to go into even calling it spirituality because that starts looking like religion whenever you throw God in it, and somehow spirituality equals God. And no, it does not, because God has already been defined by many, 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 many people on this planet. And so if you don't want to use the term God and you want to understand that the intergalactic energy, the galactic energy, the universal energy, the non-God energy, whatever you call it, or the God and beyond energy, however you're assuming that to be, available to you, that's yours. And maybe assume that it's something bigger than anything you ever thought it was, because that's what we're being called to do. And Wayne Dyer said one time that I want to think like God thinks. And I used to really, spend a lot of time nurturing that, and every once in a while it drops in still, and I go, that's just a great concept. And again, I'm not hung up on God. A lot of people have some real male-oriented issue with the God concept and patriarchy, so I'm okay with father, mother, God, whatever, just whatever it is that is not going to trigger the places in me that can't accept divinity, and I can start by not really listening to anybody that's willing to call me the devil or say that I'm evil possessed and that I deserved any bad thing that happened to me. That's as reptilian as it comes, and I'm not going to call somebody a lizard that doesn't deserve to live anymore because they think that I don't deserve to live anymore. If you're calling me a reptile and I'm calling you a reptile, aren't we just kind of in a stupid pissing match at this point? And who's right? Well, considering we have absolutely no hard and fast evidence, it's all channeled information or divination of some kind or prophecy, then it's got as much clout as the Bible, which is up for debate, have we noticed? So I mean, if we're not able to quantify and qualify things through the scientific process beyond fifth element, which we are just now, beginning to kind of sort of understand, if we can't really quantify that and really legitimize it, humans like to legitimize the stuff out of things because that's how we make it real. And if we can't really legitimize it, then why don't we go ahead and dig into the idea that my journey is my journey, and how it looks is going to look very bizarre, strange, and devil-possessed, apparently, to some people. And I have to be strong enough and have faith enough in what I have faith in to not be knocked off my point with that kind of reptilian concept. That's low vibe. I don't care what planet from whence you hail. I don't care from what frequency you think you come from. If that's the agenda coming forward, is that I can't have my spot because I'm a reptile, or I have to make you a reptile in order to gain my spot, or that I'm not going to get to my spot because you're a reptile. Absolutely not. There's a lot of people that are throwing, some major roadblocks into unsuspecting, hapless victims' ways because they don't understand you're being victimized by the system. Once you understand the system and you want to jump back into the matrix and then operate as a, I'm in the matrix and I know I'm in the matrix, you want to pull a Neo where you're going in knowing what you're doing after you've been pulled out and swallow the right pill for you, then fine. When we're bobbling around in that matrix we don't know, and we're just frustrated and bumping up against other people's matrix misunderstanding, then we're cranky, we're mean, we're murderous, and we're quite unruly, and we're not satisfied. And me reaching satisfaction doesn't happen by me saying that my way's the best and everybody has to follow me and my one consciousness. That is not allowing for the 8 billion people on the planet to reach that consciousness of high vibrational, I want the best for me, I want the best for everybody. That's basically all there is to it. It's pretty simple. When we're all wanting that, when we all, I want for you what you want for me, when we're truly living at that, then, the whole reptilian concept really is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, because that whole dark entity force and those attachments, which, when you fall into that frequency, if you fall into a vat of goo, or you fall into, tar baby status and you're just covered, you're gonna have a hard time getting off of that. That's why it's very important to not get stuck in it. What happens if you're born into it? Then you spend some time waffling around, and possibly visiting Akashic records and, beating trees in the wilderness, hoping that your anger will somehow resolve when you magically reach the point one day that therapy's been long enough, hard enough, and difficult enough, and that, one day, you magically ascend. Or you reach your breaking point of, this is near death, I've had enough, and I cannot do this anymore, I give. And when that happens, me personally, I'm not about to go back and do that again, and I can't unring the bell, and I can't barf up the pill that I swallowed. So I'm gonna march on knowing what I know, and not explaining or asking for permission from anybody else, and being respectful and knowing that they have that same right too. So namaste to you, and thank you, 1444. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy whatever part of the day you're in, and remember, friends, within your skin, you're divine. It's absolutely fine. Just get on in there, and you be in charge. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.